Hi, I am going to be giving you some specific instructions on how to do your revisions assignment. This time we're having two different assignments, a 7-point revisions assignment and a 7-point final draft assignment. For your revisions assignment, I need you to follow my instructions that I'm about to give exactly and not just think you know how to do revisions. Because what happens most of the time is most students will look over their papers and mark 5 or 6 grammatical errors or change a word here or there and believe that they have done revisions. And the thing is that you have to remember is that in this class, the way I grade papers, conventions are only a small part, a small percentage of the way I grade your paper. Sentence fluency and conventions combined usually will make up about a point or a point and a half of the possible points for your final draft. The other points are made up by the other 6 traits: ideas, organization, voice, word choice. Yeah. And so we're going to be working with this as a way of getting us into making other kinds of revisions than just spelling, punctuation, that kind of thing. So this is your assignment. Please pay close attention. You are to make revisions on your rough draft by making changes and number 6 of those changes. I have some places on my board where I have numbered changes. Number 1 here, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 7. So I want you to pay attention to that. That is how I want you to mark your revisions. Let's go through each one of these so you understand what they are. Number 1 is the ideas section. To make a change, you should add a detail or an example. Take out unnecessary repetition. Okay? So here I decided to add an example, like statistics, names, etc. So I put a little caret, and notice that when you put a caret, the caret goes toward the bottom and it points up where you write something above. And that's how carets work in proofing. And you can see that the change that I made is here, and the number 1 is here to mark that is a number 1 change. Okay, number 2, change the order of sentences, words, or paragraphs, or mark where your paragraphs are going to be. Paragraph breaks are going to be. Normally when you write a rough draft, you're skipping lines, and most of you are not showing where your paragraph breaks are going to be as you write your rough draft. And so that is a good thing to mark, especially if you can't find anything that needs to switch the order. Here I decided to mark that words should go before sentences because we're going from small to big. And so I put the 2-headed arrow there to suggest that I need to change the order of these 2 words, and I put a little number 2 to mark that it is an organization change. So anytime you change the order of something or you separate things into sections or paragraphs, those are organization changes. Number 3, replace emotional support or appeals with logical support or real examples. Also, take out imperatives in second-person speech, like the word you. When you're writing formal paper, you should not be using the word you in most cases, because you are not supposed to be talking to your audience. You're supposed to be just discussing a subject. So if you take out the word you, that would count. You could put a number 3. I put a number 3 here because I changed this sentence from an imperative sentence to a declarative sentence. It would be best to take out imperatives in second-person speech. So I put a little number 3 here. I am making all of these imperatives because I'm giving you instructions. I'm not writing a formal essay. but this is an example. Number 4, correct your English usage. Ask me if you need to. If you can't find anything, or if you don't know whether something is correct or not. Is it supposed to be at or on or in? Which one is it, Miss Brown? That kind of thing. Or change a general or boring word to something better. Use action verbs if you can. And here I crossed out the word better and wrote more specific, because more specific is more specific than better. And then I put a little number 4, because that is a word choice change. Ideas, organization, voice, word choice. Now number 5 is sentence fluency. Correct run-on sentences, comma splices, rambling sentences, or fragments. Or put a 2 or 3 word sentence next to a long, complex sentence. So if you do that, then you could put a number 5 next to the thing that you corrected, or the little short sentence that you added, or something like that. Number 6, correct subject-verb agreement errors. So I want you to go through and find any time where your subject does not agree with your verb or vice versa, and change that and put a little number 6 there. We just went through that section not long ago in your grammar lessons, so I want to check that. If I find a subject-verb agreement error in your final draft, I will take off half a point. 1. So look for them. Number 7, add commas where needed, please. And so I put a little caret pointing up to a comma here, little number 7, because I added a comma. In that case, a comma is needed because it's kind of a mild interjection, the word please. Courtesy word, excuse me, comma, please, comma, kind of thing. Okay, so you have 7 things to find, and you notice that revisions count 7 points. So it's going to be 1 point for an example of each one of these things. If you find nothing to correct in one of these areas, you may substitute, but only 1. So I'm going to be looking for different numbers, not all number 6s, or not all number 2s, or whatever. I'm going to be looking for a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, okay? But like, for example, if you can't find anything on number 5, then you can give me 2 number 7s. That's fine. But only do that once, or I'm going to be taking off points. Or if I read it and I can't find anything, then I won't take off a point. Okay? But I'm good at finding things. So, yeah. So what else? Oh, keep both the revisions assignment and your final draft in mind, because you are doing 2 things here. Number 1, you're doing the revisions assignment. Number 2, you're revising your paper so that when you write your final draft, it'll be as good as possible. So correct as many errors as you can find, not only 6. Actually, I should have put not only 7. But anyway, because, yeah. I'm thinking normally 6 traits, 6 things, and I added 1 here, so it's actually 7. But correct as many errors as you can, not just the 7 errors that I have up here. And if you have, 14 English usage errors, then correct all of them, okay? If I feel like you did especially good, I might give you an extra half a point, or, not take off a point when I would have ordinarily, or something like that. Yeah, so that's revisions. For your final draft, remember it should be nice and neat. All of your paragraphs should be clearly shown. I've tried to teach Honduran students not to skip lines to show paragraphs, but rather to indent. But it just seems to be so firmly ingrained in you that you skip lines for paragraphs that I'm going to accept that for now. And yeah, I can't think of anything else at this moment. Please, please, please do not turn in your revisions assignment with no numbers on it. Thank you. Happy writing.